Wait, I don't think I was recording.
It is recording.
Nope.
Hey guys, welcome back to our channel. Today's video is the first episode to our new series Cook with Roy, where I try different dishes from different cuisines from your go-to sources. And I hope you enjoy it. Don't forget to click the subscribe button. So today's dish is gonna be kimchi, traditional fermented side dish. My only experience with Korean food is ramen. Today's recipe has been taken from Maangchi's blog. The link is in the bio. You know, a Korean mom. So this is a Napa cabbage. I found it in a nearby Oriental grocery store. It's as big as my head. Now you gotta open it up, obviously. This Napa cabbage is 800 grams, so my overall kimchi is gonna be 1 kg, which is a lot to be honest. Sorry, my camera died in between, so now I'm gonna be cutting it up into bite-sized pieces around an inch. So this recipe that I took from Maangchi's website is her easy kimchi recipe. So the whole recipe is about making it as easy as possible, but as my first time it wasn't that easy and I did mess up a few parts. Now as you can see, I'm still cutting it down into smaller pieces. So there will be a few withered leaves in the core of the cabbage. You would want to remove that because that could spoil your kimchi if you let it ferment with the rest of the leaves. So don't forget to remove that. It would be a little bit discolored and very yellow in color too. So just remove that. After that, you gotta add a lot of salt and then water. So this process is to wither the cabbage down, which is essentially removing the water from it. You're gonna be soaking the cabbage for 1.5 hours, and you'll have to turn the cabbage every 30 minutes. So in the 1.5 hour duration, you have to turn it 3 times, and this will allow the salting process to happen evenly. The salting process is very important so that the kimchi will ferment really well. So to add a lot of salt. Now I cut 1 onion, 6 garlic cloves, 1 radish, and small sized carrot. So I peeled the radish and now I'm gonna cut it into matchsticks, or what you would call in culinary terms juliennes. My knife skills are not that great, so please don't copy the way I'm cutting it. Maybe learn how to cut it before you do so, because I struggled a bit, so that's why I cut it out of the video. And please be careful with your knives. I have a lot of cuts on my fingers because I don't properly cut vegetables. So you can see that I didn't cut it really thin. So you want to make sure you're cutting it really thin. Keep that in mind. After cutting it, you would want to set it aside. And here's me trying to show you. Sorry for the camera angles. shooting alone is a little difficult. So then, yeah, cut your carrots. Don't forget to peel it properly. You don't want the outer layer in your kimchi. Can ruin your kimchi. And it's the same with the carrot. You gotta cut it into matchsticks, also called julienne. But seriously guys, please be careful while cutting. If you can't cut it into matchsticks, then try to cut it as thin as possible. Now set this aside with the radish. Here I am cutting the onion, Gordon Ramsay style. He usually cuts his onion in half, and he does this so that the onion doesn't bleed. If you cut the edges off, it starts to bleed, and that's why your eyes sting. But even when you cut it this way, just please be careful. So you want to cut it into big chunks because you're anyway going to be grinding the onions and garlic into a paste. So I used half an onion. Handful of garlic cloves. The garlic cloves here are so big. So again, I cut it up. Now you gotta make a rice porridge. So follow Maangchi's recipe. I kinda messed up by putting in cold water instead of hot water. So you have to boil it, and then you need to simmer it down after it starts to boil. And you need to add sugar. Don't use brown sugar because it makes it brown color. Now here's the onion and garlic paste. I used Indian chili flakes, so that was really spicy, so be careful. Then you add some soy sauce to mix it up together, and that's your paste. Now you gotta wash the cabbage. You need wash it 3 times, and don't do it less than 3 times. It's very important to wash it. Now mix your vegetables with the paste. Now add the cabbage in little by little. Make sure each cabbage leaf is coated with this paste. And then pack it into a box. So the packing process is very important. You have to press it down really tight. That's the only way it's going to ferment really well and give you all those juices. So that's it to making kimchi. But let me warn you, it's a very long process. It took me around 3 hours. And since it's my first time making it, it took a lot of time. So I had the fresh kimchi with some ramen. It was bomb. And since we have a lot of kimchi, I decided to make some budae-jjigae. Now budae-jjigae is also called army stew, and for this you need a stock, and I used a vegetable stock which you can find in any grocery store. So first you gotta boil your water and put the stock in. I added some mushrooms. Preferably you could use shiitake mushrooms. I totally forgot to buy them. Since Maangchi used a fish broth, I thought it would be better to use something earthy, so I put in some mushrooms. You gotta boil it and then let it simmer. I let it simmer aside. And then you have to put in all your ingredients. So these are a few of the ingredients that I used. You could use anything that you want. Just follow her recipe and you'll know. Pour in the broth and let it boil. That's all for today's video. Hope you enjoyed.